You've heard the phrase, you need money to make money, but what most people don't hear is the part that actually matters. That money doesn't have to come from your paycheck or your own savings. Sometimes using other people's money is what gives you the margin to grow. You don't have to avoid credit, you just need a plan for how to use it to your advantage. We've been trained to see credit as a weakness, as something to be ashamed of, and as a sign that you're living beyond your means. Meanwhile, people with real wealth use credit all the time, but they don't use it to spend. They use it to manage risk, free up capital, and create more value over time. Credit, when used strategically, can help you go from just managing your money to actually multiplying it. And in this video, I'm breaking down 7 strategies the top 1% use to make credit work for them so that you can start using it to build real wealth too. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Anastasia. After a decade of running multi-million-dollar projects, business school, years of investing, and building my own wealth from scratch, I started this channel to share strategies and systems that actually work so that you can do it too. Let's get into it. Lesson number 1, use credit as a cash flow tool. Wealthy people don't rely on credit cards to cover unexpected expenses. Instead, they use credit cards to help manage the timing of their cash flow. They take advantage of the time between when they make the purchase and when the payment is due. During this period, their money can stay in a high-yield savings account or investments where it continues to grow. Let's say your payment isn't due for 25 days. That's almost a month your money can sit in an account where it earns interest. Lesson number 2, forget about the rewards. The first thing you need to understand is how credit card companies make money. Their revenue comes from 2 main sources: interest and late fees from those who carry balances, and interchange fees. That's the 1 or 3% fee that's charged to a merchant and then quietly passed on to you in form of higher prices. Credit card companies paid $68 billion in rewards in 1 year, but that's only about half of what they collected in fees. Understanding that credit card rewards are just a game designed to make you spend more is power in itself. Taking back control means that you're going to use credit on your own terms. The most financially secure people I know are not ever worried about pulling out the right card for the best points. They're not obsessing over bonus categories or timing purchases for deals because they know something very important. Rewards are a very, very, very small side benefit, not the strategy. In fact, trying to optimize every little point or perk can get in your way. It clutters your mind, it overcomplicates your spending, and distracts you from the bigger picture. So instead, keep it simple. The real value isn't in squeezing out a 2% cashback. It's in having clarity, consistency, and a system that builds wealth without constant effort. Lesson number 3, financial self-awareness is a superpower. It's the one trait that wealthy people share, and that is consistent financial awareness and regular oversight of their cash flow. It's not about color-coded spreadsheets or tracking every dollar, but it's about complete awareness of where your money goes, ability to notice patterns, and course correct when needed. Most overspending isn't logical, it's emotional. For example, you get a raise and suddenly you feel justified to upgrade your phone or buy things that you've been eyeing, even if you don't actually need them. Friends or neighbors get a new car and you feel the pressure to keep up by spending beyond your means. Some of the wealthiest people I know don't look wealthy at all. They're not trying to prove anything with designer clothes or luxury cars. They shop at Costco and spend based on what matters to them, not on what gets attention. And this kind of self-awareness is powerful. So before purchasing something, ask yourself, is this in line with my plan? Or do I want this because of how it will feel if others saw me have it? And ask this question, would I still buy it if no one ever saw it? This keeps you in control, cuts out waste, and makes sure that your money goes towards the life that you actually want and not somebody else's idea of success. The next lesson is that financial planning equals financial freedom. Financial planning is something all wealthy people share, and none of them rely on credit as a safety net. Basic financial planning is not about hiring a financial advisor. It's about being intentional, having a clear vision for your life, and taking concrete steps to get there. Many people have very vague ideas about their future. They might say that they want to save more or retire comfortably or become financially independent. But if you ask them how much they actually need or what those goals look like in real numbers, they usually don't know. Without clear targets and deadlines, it's very easy to stay comfortable drifting without making any real progress. How can you reach a goal if you don't know exactly what it looks like or how far you are from it? Defining your goals with specific numbers and timelines creates a roadmap. It shows where you are now and what steps you need to take next. And without that clarity, it's like trying to get to a destination without a map. You end up just taking random turns and going in circles. Financial planning is actually a lot simpler than it sounds. If you're not sure how to get started with financial planning, check out this video right here, where I explain how to organize and break down your goals and create a very realistic and actionable plan to reach them. This approach is what's going to set you apart from the 99% that are stuck in a cycle. Later in the video, I'll reveal a common trap that many fall into during their 40s and 50s and how planning ahead can help you avoid costly debt and stress when life gets tough. The next lesson is to leverage low-interest debt to build wealth. The wealthier someone is, the more they use credit strategically to grow their wealth. They understand the difference between good debt and bad debt and know that good debt helps them acquire assets that increase in value or generate income like real estate or business or investing in education that offers a clear return. For example, you might use a 0% intro APR credit card to cover initial costs of starting something new. It could be renting and furnishing an Airbnb or setting up a studio space, buying equipment for an on-location car detailing service. It could also go towards supplies for landscaping or housekeeping business. And the key here is to use the credit card strategically and have a plan to pay it off before the interest kicks in. The goal here is not to take on debt just because it's available. It's to use the borrowed money with intention to grow your income or wealth in a way that outpaces the cost of borrowing. When you understand the math, the timing, and the risk, you can make debt work for you instead of letting it quietly chip away at your financial future. The next lesson is to protect your credit score like an asset. If you're going to use credit to multiply your money, whether it's for investments or starting a business or growing income streams, then your credit score becomes a key part of the equation. The better your score, the cheaper the money becomes. And as you learn to leverage debt and borrow larger amounts over time, keeping that cost low matters more than ever. A strong credit score opens doors to better mortgage rates, lower interest on car loans, access to business credit, and smoother approvals for everything from rentals to insurance. It's your financial leverage. So think of your credit profile like an invisible asset. It doesn't show up on your net worth statement, but it can save or cost you tens of thousands of dollars over a lifetime. Don't treat credit like something to fix when it's broken. Treat it like part of your overall financial foundation. And the last lesson, build income streams so credit isn't a lifeline. What separates the 1% from the 99% is that the 1% don't rely on a single paycheck to pay off their credit cards. The 1% own their income. They don't depend on someone else like an employer who can one day decide to close shop or go out of business or terminate their employment. Relying on one job, one employer, or one source of income, especially if it's tied to your time, like it is for many of us, is one of the riskiest financial positions to be in. Because if your income depends on you showing up every day, what happens when you can't? That's why the 1% focus on building multiple streams of income that keep working for them, even when they're not actively working. When you start a new business or a side hustle, your income can be unpredictable. Some months might be great and others might be less so. During those times, the period between making purchases on your credit card and when the payment is due, the float period, can help smooth out cash flow. It gives you extra time to manage your money without missing bills or dipping into savings. Credit cards become once again a strategic tool in your financial system, not a financial lifeline. Before we close, I want to show you something that really puts things in perspective. There's the trap that most people don't see coming. Credit card debt has been often linked to reckless spending and seen as a young person's problem. But the generation with the highest credit card debt is actually people in their 40s and 50s. It's those who are raising kids, caring for aging parents, and managing mortgages all at once. If you haven't planned ahead and you're unprepared when those financial pressures peak, it's very easy to fall back on credit cards to fill in the gaps. So take a look at this. This data compares average emergency savings by age, the actual cost of living for those same groups, and what real emergency funds should look like if you're planning for 3 to 6 months of expenses. The gap is much bigger than most people realize, and the reason why so many end up in debt without ever making reckless choices. So to wrap this up, using credit like the 1% means being in control, not chasing rewards or juggling debt. Build steady income streams, protect your credit, and use credit as a tool, not a crutch. The more prepared and intentional you are, the less reactive you're going to need to be with your money. And that's how real wealth quietly takes shape over time. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you next week.